Great. So this group session is very much about silence, allowing people to speak, to get their problems across. And because PIGEE is a solution to a existing problem, you have to let them give you their problems. You have to let them speak. If you go into to speak to a merchant where you are, you have this idea in your mind that you must be selling them. Hey, we've got this app. Hi, my name is Leroy. We have this app. It's really, really good. You're going to love this app. It's going to make you more money. It's going to pay you money. It's going to make your clients, your customers happy. It's going to make your customers. It's going to make your customers want to come back and do repeat sales. If you tell that story in that way, they are not going to be able to relax and understand for themselves how this is really going to benefit them. This is not a hard pitch. This is not a hard sale. This is not aggressive sales. This is you making a friend, if anything. This is you making a friend with someone. It's very much like the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's you making friends with someone, connecting with them, and allowing them to understand that the problems they're telling you about, not only do you have the solution for it with the PIGEE app, but also you are on the same side as them. You do not have a conflict of interest. You're not trying to separate them from money. And even when you say to them, I want to make you more money, no one believes you. There's no point even saying that. There's no point saying, hey, I want to make you more money. They don't know you. Either they trust you, or they don't trust you. There's no point in saying that. You just let them give you your problems, and you just say, look, here, this is what PIGEE does. And that's it. You don't need to push very hard for them to do so. And that is your first stage. I've been saying this a lot to people this week. I've been describing this as a two-stage close. And this is something you have to also keep in your mind, understanding that this is a two-stage close, which means first stage is when you first are able to express your capability, the reason for you even being there, why you benefit that person. That's what you're doing in your first instance. Ideally, there are two things to gain when you are leaving that interaction. One is that they've registered the app, and two is that they want to see you again. Those are the two things that you want to accomplish. They downloaded the app and they want to see you again. If they want to see you again, it's because they like you, which is really, really important, that they like you and trust you. And also because they are, at least to some extent, understanding the premise, the value proposition of what PIGEE can do to enhance their business, their life, and how they conduct themselves. So on the second stage of the close, this is when you are doing the fishing exercise, which I know some of you have been doing. Fortunately, the fishing exercise is when you spend time with them in their shop and you give them real world, real life examples of how to use this application with their customers, which either means you doing it for them or them doing it themselves, but you being there to support them. Because once they have seen it end to end, they have so much more faith and belief in this system. Because right now, the traditional way of doing this is they may have 10 customers who enter their store who want to buy something, but it's too big, too fragile, too awkward, but they're only going to know one of them. And that's going to be the one who is umming and ahhing and saying, I really like this, but how am I going to get it home? And then they say, don't worry, I'll call up DHL, go to this company over there, and they will ship it home for you. That already happens. It's very tangible, it's physical, it's in person, but it's more expensive. It doesn't get repeat customers, doesn't increase the ways that they can increase business for themselves, and it's more difficult for their customer, and it's more difficult for them as well. So this is a much easier way of doing things, and once you show them from beginning to end, they're going to have much more belief in this process. They'll realize it's much easier. And not only that, but those 10 people who come in and they only capture that one person, if they're lucky, who makes it abundantly clear that they want to have this problem solved. The other 10 people who are just maybe perusing, just looking at a particular product, which you guys will be able to see really easily. They're looking at a product that they can't take home in their suitcase. That's when they should be approached by the shop owner or shop assistant. They should be approached and say, hey, you like this product? Why don't you buy it? How am I going to get it home? You know, that's you should. And for you, when you're fishing, when you're doing the fishing exercise, it's very easy for you to do that. To know what the problem is, and to be able to just say, look, guys, what is do you like this product? Why aren't you buying it? And they tell you the problem, and you say, hey, just use Pigeon. Simple, just Pigeon at home. Don't need to do anything. Just pay for it with the app. It will be sent home for you. As simple as that. And when your client sees that, they're able to do it themselves. And when you are doing this this fishing exercise, you know, this is a really good opportunity for you to make friends with someone. I'm using that word at the moment, friends, because you trust your friends, and this is what you need to be. You need to be someone who can be a trusted friend, not just because it means they will open up to you and they'll want to do business with you, but because they're also going to refer people to you as well. And when it comes to compounding in this business, a big part of it is to have someone trusted recommend you and say, hey, Ricardo is the person you want to go to, Rowan's the person you want to go to, Natasha's the person you want to go to. They've been using this service. Rankham's the person you want to speak to. They've been using this service, and it's really been helping them. It's really been helping my business. Here, speak to them. And even if they're not very good at technology, they will go over that. They'll go through that journey with you, and they'll make it work. I've got some of these PIGEE t-shirts here, guys. I've not been sending enough of these out to people. What's going on? Got to start sending some of these out soon. So look, there's something else I've been talking about as well with some of the guys, which is so I get requests from people, and I know people speak amongst yourself in the WhatsApp groups and off the WhatsApp groups as well. And I know you probably feel a little bit like you are a lone wolf out there trying to figure it out for yourself, and you might like a bit more support. I have mixed feelings about this. Not too long from now in the future, maybe a few weeks from now or so, the likelihood is I'll start grouping people together because it's good to give each other some advice, some feedback, some motivation, and you're not so much a lone wolf in this process. So people who are not on each other's toes, but near enough within the same region. So we might well start doing that moving forward. Sorry, it's really hot in England, which is unbelievable to imagine, but it's hot today. And so we may well start doing that moving forward. But it's okay to be a lone wolf as well. It's okay to be a lone wolf. It's impossible to exist in a comfort zone where you need an audience all the time. You don't need an audience. You just have to understand there's an opportunity here for a lot of life-changing money to be made, and want to do it, and to just go out and make it happen. So don't ever wait around for anyone else or for other people, or for a hug in the morning from someone, or someone to kick you in the bum and say, go out and do it. You have to do it. And one thing you will always find of anyone who's been financially successful, they do not wait for anyone. They don't need a group of people to make it happen. They just go out and do it themselves. Maybe I'm obsessive. I'm up at like 5 and 6 every morning, going for a run and doing stuff. And I just work endlessly. That's just me personally. I know everyone's different, but that is what it takes. And as I said to you before, my background was as a stockbroker. And when I was a junior stockbroker, I didn't know what the hell I was doing at all. I was just learning it. Whenever someone was doing more than me, I couldn't sleep that night. I just happened to be a very competitive person, but I couldn't sleep that night. I had to make sure that I beat them. And I remember having being not as popular as someone else who's been giving lots of business over me, and beating them on the last day of that quarter to get the awards. And they were so upset about it. But that's my kind of personality. I like upsetting people who don't want me to succeed. So if you're that kind of person, when you look in the mirror and you believe in yourself and you want to succeed and make your life different, financially improved, you know, it's an extremely difficult thing to do. If you're going out and you're getting knockbacks, it's fine. Every time someone knocks you back or you make a mistake, you're learning something. You're putting a new bullet in your gun here that you can go back, and the next person you speak to, you're much more qualified at closing that sale. So don't ever feel disappointed from objections or rejections. These are actually benefits for you. Don't let them affect you emotionally. Don't let it show in your face. Just take a breath, come back again, knowing that every time you come back, you're coming back stronger, better, and you're more able to make what is, like all sales jobs, a difficult job, actually into an easy job over time, because you've got those battle scars, you've got those battle wounds. Before we go on a bit further, I actually want to get some feedback from you guys. I know some of you have been going out and going into shops. Ricardo, you've been out a bit recently. How have you been getting on?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, Leroy. Yeah, no, I enjoy to be out there. Nice interacting with all the different personalities and, with the different type of items, this arts and crafts. And, funny enough, this earlier today, I went to go follow up one of my prospects. And this is basically for you, Leroy, objection, and I really didn't, yeah, I didn't expect his feedback, what he gave me. But the objection was, oh no, not for me. It's too much. I think this guy is more, he's scared of technology.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that is the one thing that I just got stuck there, and I didn't know how to overcome that objection. To him,
sure.
it's too much PT, you know, working around the app, registering, and it's not for him. So he's steering away from the tech, that's available to
Sure.
him. Obviously, it will benefit him in many ways. Yeah, but I'm not done with him. So I just need to overcome that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. When he said that to you, what was your response? What was your response? You have no response? Did you just leave it, or do you have some
No,
sort
no, no.
of
I asked
rebuttal?
him in particular what is the issues that he had, you know, that he find difficult to. So it's not difficult. I think he's just he's more impatient. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Because
Okay.
what I experience also, yeah, if you're not connected to a good Wi-Fi or a good data connection, then the app tends to, when you want to do something, then it hangs a bit before it processes that. So,
Yeah.
and on a faster connection, it goes quick. So that is the challenge that I'm also facing. All right. And yeah, still issues with the pictures.
Okay.
I registered one earlier today, and the actual pics didn't go through. So I had to, when I got home, I had to go onto the web console, and I had to finish it off there and activate and verify store. All right. So yeah, but I think
Can
the
you can you let me know after this? Message me the name of that shop so we can check our logs. The reason why we were down on Monday mornings because we were actually moving our cloud servers from AWS over to Google Cloud. So there've been a few little bits and pieces. So any feedback like that is really good for me, please. So if you can just let me know the name of that shop, and then we will investigate that and try and make sure that that's not a continued
okay. Yeah. So
problem.
mhm. Yeah. So from the app, we could we uploaded the pictures, but then it didn't show. All right. It didn't show there. And or even before you save it, then it shows the picture there. And once you save it, it uploads it and then stops. You go back and there's nothing.
Okay, all right. Let me get
But
on
I
that.
will send you the name of the shop. Yes,
And that was with an Android device, I assume.
Android. Yes.
Okay, all right. We'll do that. I think the last time we didn't receive it, either the file was too big. We didn't increase the size of
Mm-mm.
files that could be received, but we'll definitely
I even
investigate
checked.
that.
I checked the size of the pic, and it was less than 5 MB. All
Okay,
right, and we uploaded it from his album instead of directly through the app taking the picture, and it still didn't
fantastic.
load. Mm.
Okay, definitely. We'll look onto that. Um, so that I'm going to. I know I always do objection rugby, objection handling, and when I come back to this, can you please give me the objection you mentioned about technology, and I'm going to handle that objection, and then we're going to loop around one or two times. Oops, my thing's died. There we go. We're going to loop around a few times. Oh, God. Technology, eh? Does not want to work today. Okay. Sorry, just bear with me. I don't know why it's. There we go. It's a 360 playing me around. Yeah, we're going to come back to that objection handling. I know last week when we started to do the objection handling, people started to run for covers and jumping off. Um, but please do stick around for this week. It's really useful, the objection handling. It's one of the most important things in any kind of sales. Yeah, really. I'm in England, not in Bali. I wish I was in Bali. It's hot like Bali today, that's for sure. Um, let me just share my screen with you guys here a second. So there we go. You guys see that screen, hopefully. Okay. So what I want to talk to you about a little bit today is about types of shops again, because I am looking through the database. Most of the shops that people are registering are really good shops. But I just want to clarify, I know there's some new people as well on the call today who haven't gone through it before. And when it comes to registering a shop that is a good shop, it's really important that you just know which ones to completely avoid and then figure out which ones, once they're on board and regular, are going to be generating you good commission. The obvious ones to avoid are food, drink, single item clothing, tobacco, high duty products like gold, silver, Cuban cigars, that kind of thing. I don't really mess with jewelry personally. I think that there's no point in someone sending a diamond in the post because the duty is going to be ridiculous and you can stick it in your pocket. So I just avoid jewelry. I've been having lots of conversations about uh, antiques, and I've been learning about antiques in all honesty. And I know I have a very narrow view against antique stores because being here in England, when I look at antique stores in South Africa or anywhere else, they just look like stuff in England all the time. So for me, as someone from here, I wouldn't be as a tourist going to anywhere and buying it. But I have been learning from speaking with some of these antiques owners indirectly from you guys that they do make sales to tourists. So that what that really tells us is that assumption is the enemy in sales. It is the enemy. You have to go in and speak to people and ask them questions and find out who they're selling to and figure out if it is right for you as well. Obviously, the kind of modus operandi is to get things which are big, heavy, awkward, fragile. If anything that cannot fit in your suitcase or the kind of products that you want to be focusing on. I know when people hear tourists and tourist shopping, they immediately think of souvenirs, and souvenirs are typically small souvenirs. And the reason why souvenirs are small in shops is because they don't have an adequate solution to this problem. So you'll find, all being well over time, tourist focus shops will start to acquire and sell bigger products because this solution is here now to fix that issue. And they like to sell bigger, more unique products, which cost more because they make more money. So, they'll start to change their appetite for the things that they that they acquire and to sell into their stores. Souvenirs can, of course, be larger items, and it might be multiple items. We've had customers in Bali, as we all know, where people have bought a box of products because they've wanted to take it home or to somewhere else to sell, and they've actually opened up a line of acquisition with this shop. So they might be in South Africa. That's why products being unique to your region is really, really important. It's of really high value to potential customers, because if you are able to get a customer who buys from that shop, who wants to now use that shop as a supplier in another region, they're going to be having transactions going all the time in high quantity, and that's you making lots of commission from those trails. So it's super. I always say it's half of your job is picking the most suitable stores which have unique products, can't carry home in your suitcase, cannot be bought back where the tourist is from, and they are medium to expensive to justify the shipping. Someone gave me a screenshot, I'm not sure if you're in the group, a few weeks ago, saying, hey, I did a test run with this product. The product was really small and cheap, and the cost of shipping was a fortune. Shipping, doesn't matter how much the thing costs, which is why it's important to have it medium to expensive, because delivery companies only operate on volumetric weight, which is the dimensions and the weight to an extent. So it just doesn't matter. It can be a £5 product or a £5 product. It doesn't matter. So you have to, in the same way that you can see that would be an issue, so can a customer. So it needs to be a shop that's selling to customers that are high earners, who are wanting to spend money and find high value in the products that they're selling. And whilst I understand in the early stages of your sales journey here, it's important to practice, do that, speak to people. They haven't got to always be a perfect shop for you. In fact, it's really good when you're speaking to shops which aren't a perfect shop for you. As long as you understand they're unlikely to be high commission generating for you, but you are practicing your skill, you're honing your talents here by speaking to them, so that when you do have a shop that's a 9 out of 10, you've got all your objections ready to go, and you're able to do a really good job of onboarding and registering that particular shop. By the way, at any point, anyone has any questions at all, please just raise your hand on the app, and I'll respond straight away. Tabo, how you doing?
Hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yes. I just have two questions in general. When it comes to first avoiding single item clothing, does that imply that bulk clothing is okay? Because I know either way it can still be put in your bag. So if they were to purchase enough clothes, would it call for PG as a solution, or should we just still avoid them?
So, yeah, if you're buying multiple clothing, you can just stick it in your bag, which is the most obvious thing to put in your bag, which one kind of stay away from that. If you find yourself in a scenario where someone just wants to use PIGEE as a supplier, where they are sending 30, 40, 50 t-shirts, for example, at a time somewhere, then that's fine. That's a very specific requirement that they're having. I'm not always sure if we're going to be the cheapest for that. It has to kind of hit critical mass for it to be cheapest. It depends on their route as well. But now what you're having is it's the merchant is most involved with the pricing. And one of the benefits that we gain from tourists is that tourists spend twice as much when they travel compared to when they're at home. They have looser fingers, looser pockets, compared to a shop themselves who doesn't have loose pockets. They want to make sure that possible what they're doing is working out in the most efficient way. So no, we can't really compare with domestic e-commerce. We can't compare with certain routes. But the more we add shipping partners, the cheaper we'll get for all routes over time. But yeah, if you're selling a bunch of t-shirts, it needs to be a fair sized amount of t-shirts to justify to get a cheapest price out of us.
Okay. And then just when it comes to my next question, just referring back to the two-stage process of making a sale, just particularly when it comes to stage one of where we're first getting the initial trust from the client, how would you recommend that we first go for an email approach, or should we just do physical visits until we actually register the business?
Yeah, I wouldn't go for emails. I would go in person is what I would do. I wouldn't do the emails because two reasons. One, if you're just going to be kind of soft marketing people, you might be upset when your efforts are just used by someone else. Like, it might be someone else in your region who's doing sales. They're going to go in and just happen to get there before you, and they're going to pick up the slack and benefit from your efforts as well. So I think that's one thing to be aware of. Also, I hate email marketing anyway, but I ignore all. I know people criticize me for it, but I ignore 99% of emails that come to my inbox. I don't respond to it at all. And I think something that's happened in recent years that people seem to be scared to do sales. When someone calls me out of the blue, I am about 50 times more likely to end up doing business with that person than if someone emails me. Because I'm under no pressure to respond. I consider them to be a human being. I value their time. I just ignore it. So, and nothing is better than in person. Even the phone is cool. Phone is great, but in person is your maximum impact point of increasing the chance of them valuing you, listening and believing you and liking you, and wanting to take action on what you're telling them to do.
I see. Thank you.
No worries. Case study as well. I've been speaking to some people this week. It's not a very good case study here, so I apologize for that. But I'm speaking to some people this week. I'm not on the same screen, is it? I'm sharing here. 1 second. What's going on here? You guys can just see products, can't you, see on your screen? This is not where I am on my screen. Let me just do that again. I see why. Share screen. Yeah, I was thinking I was sharing the screen with you guys. I hope you guys can see that now. So, and again, this is for the people who are in this call who are right at the beginning of their journey. But I think it's useful for everyone just to get this really, really clear idea in your head. And it's different for the people like Riddy who've been with PIGEE for a long time, who is on the call right now. Riddy has visited hundreds and hundreds of shops, and and in the beginning, in the early stages, he was with me going into shops and seeing how I do it, and he saw that almost every shop I entered, I registered as a bare minimum, and he saw how simple it could be. But I understand that's the issue with remote sales and remote sales training. You can't see me or see someone go into a shop and do it in front of you 10 times, so you know how it's done in the easiest way. So it might not be clear for everyone how this process should work. And so I'm going to just very likely step you through the stages of this two-stage close. There are other case studies other than the way that I'm going to discuss it right now, but this is the key case study of how it should operate. In fact, Riddy, can you hear me? You on the line there? Still there, Riddy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. I'm going to role play with you, if you don't mind, on this. So you can just pretend to be a very a very easy merchant for me. And
Sure.
I'm going to walk into your shop, and you can just tell me. You can just. Sorry, no. Hold on a second. This is Dabo responding to me. I'm trying to get Riddy.
Oh, okay.
On there. Riddy, you're on mute. But it might be using Dabo instead, actually, because Riddy's not hearing this, so he's on mute. Actually, Dabo, as you started already, maybe you should finish. If you want to come back. Okay, cool, great. So look, you're the shop owner. I'm the salesperson. I've walked into your shop. You're selling fine art paintings that people buy once a day from abroad, and they're really expensive. Let's say you're in a gallery, and so I walk in. I just, this is barely a role play, but I've walked in. I'm just being friendly. I'm not announcing myself as a salesperson. I'm not announcing myself as someone who works for any particular company. But on the flip side, I'm not necessarily deceiving anyone by pretending to be a tourist necessarily either. I'm just another human being who's walking into the shop, who's admiring the art that you're selling here. And as anyone would who is admiring the products, you ask questions. And so I'd ask you, like, these, where are these paintings from?
Okay, as most of our paintings have been imported from both Kenya and Cape Town.
Okay, wonderful. So they're quite local. Are they who are they done by? Who's actually doing the paintings?
Some are done by local artists, but if you look at that one over there, that was an international client from Jamaica.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yes.
And are these do customers find these to be quite expensive, or are these cheap products?
I see what you mean. Usually we try to price them how they're worth. We particularly deal with tourists. When it comes to more local buyers, yeah, they may come in and buy one or two, but most of our clientele comes from international tourists who come in and see a painting and leave.
And so, would you say that most visitors to your gallery buy something, or what kind of percentage of people buy things?
On average, we usually have about 5 paintings sold a month.
5 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Well, it's better than nothing, but you can imagine that usually we try to make sure that we reach a balance of not having to price them too low, but also not having to get them too high to chase people away. And like I said, most of our clients are from tourists, so they usually take a painting as a souvenir, opposed to local buyers who will actually just come in more for sightseeing.
And so, have you considered some ways to increase the amount of sales that you're currently doing?
Right now, we're just looking particularly at our social media, just through Instagram ads and also with Facebook.
And so when someone follows you on social media and they think, okay, I want to buy some art from your gallery, how do they go about doing so?
So with that, we have a link in our bio, which goes to our Facebook page, along with our main website here, and an email that you can reach us back to. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter through that email.
But how do they do the actual transaction?
The actual transaction is still mainly walk-in based. So there's not necessarily a system on your phone that you can download to actually buy.
Okay. So out of the 5 customers that you sell to, how many of them are walk-in compared to how many are ones which come online?
I see what you mean. I think if I had to give a rough estimate, if we're having 20 customers in, for every 4th customer, that's usually one that'll buy.
And how many of them have come from your socials online?
It depends. Usually at this time around here, tourists are more of an influx, so we actually do get pretty busy around during the day.
Okay. And have you considered any ways to, like I said before, really to kind of increase the sales that you do here, or are you just satisfied with what your 5 sales a month, or have you been experimenting with new ways of increasing sales?
For the most part, it's just mainly been social media, hey, but do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, definitely. Look, what we try and do, in fact, this is going slightly already. I shouldn't really be saying I'm the Pidgee guy right now, but we've gone this way because of the conversation. So, what we try and do is consider things from the tourist perspective and figure out why they buy some things in some places and why they don't buy in other places. How we can increase their conversions or sales. So, we have this Pidgee app which allows them to transact from in the shop or from anywhere, increases the ability for them to discover you. But what we want to do is to help you basically do more sales by using our app. So people can pay on the app, and we found that one of the reasons why those 20 customers that come in, why fewer of them buy, not most of them buy, is because they start to worry about the negatives in their mind, which is, A, how am I going to get this painting home? I like the painting, it's on a frame. Now I've got to roll up the painting and take it home. And they, like me, may have had the previous experience of rolling up a painting, taking it home, unrolling it, it's damaged, which is a terrible shame, and there's no cover. So when people use the Pidgee app to pay for something in your shop, it will be insured. It will be collected by a professional, delivered to their house, it's insured. So if anything does happen, they can claim their money back and buy something from you again. So there are a number of these pain points that exist in that relationship between you and your customer, and the app reduces those pain points and therefore increases your sales and makes you more visible online, and also to tourists when they walk by your area, they'll see your shop on the map and be able to do more business with you. So you've never heard of that? You never used a Pidgee app before?
It's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, look, why don't you just grab your phone, download it. I don't think you really even need me. It's so simple. Just download the app. In fact, if you just do it now, I'll see if there's anywhere I can be of use to you. It takes about 2 minutes anyway to register your shop, and see how you get on.
But then if I do sign up for this, won't I have to pay anything?
That's the thing. There's nothing to pay, literally nothing to pay from your perspective. We're not trying to. I know lots of companies charge you to list your products. They charge you a subscription fee. There's nothing to pay with Pidgee at all. You just use it completely free. And in fact, every time you do use it with a customer, you receive a cashback for using Pidgee. So there's no cost or risk to yourself. It's just here to make you more money. If it doesn't make you more money, don't use it anymore. But it's just here to make you more money.
Okay. And then if I do put it, what payment details would I need to enter?
You don't need to do it right now, but when you want to withdraw, or you can do it now, you just put in your bank details and it will send the payment money directly to your bank account, which might be the same day or a few days depending on your own bank.
Okay. No, I hear you. It sounds good. I'm just busy right now. Is there a chance you could come back later this week and then I can just get this sorted with you?
Yeah, I hope so. Well, look, just you download the app today when you get a chance. If we exchange WhatsApp numbers, if you've got any problems, just message me on WhatsApp. So we'll exchange numbers. And what days are you normally busy on?
Thursday and Friday afternoon sounds good. Around 2 o'clock, I think you can come that time.
Sorry, so is that the day you're normally busy, or the day you're normally not so busy?
That would be a time where I would be less busy, where you can come in.
But what day are you busy? What days do you have a lot of customers in?
Okay, so mainly, basically, from about 8 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon, we're quite busy around here. But from 2 o'clock, things start to die down.
So look, what I'm going to do is, hopefully I'll have some time on my side. I'm going to come when you are actually busy. This is a application that's really simple and straightforward. I've seen before that customers love it. I think the best way for you to see how it works, actually, just I'll come when you're busy and I'll help you do some sales, and you'll see from end to end just how useful it is to you, not just hypothetically, but in real life. How does that sound?
All right, yeah, it sounds good. I mean, doesn't sound like I have to pay for anything, so I might as well give it a shot and see how it works.
Okay, awesome. Well, look, like I said, I'll come back on Thursday when you're busy. You've got my WhatsApp number now. Just drop me a message, or I'll drop you a message of anything you need. Before I come back, have the app ready to go. If you've got any problems, just let me know and I'll help you with it. And yeah, look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Sure, thank you.
Awesome, great. Thanks so much for that, Davo. So what that was what should be a typical scenario. Aside from a couple of times where I slipped up, I was trying to make sure that I only asked you open questions. There was a few times I apologize for asking the odd closed question, and by an open question, that means your response is not binary. It's not yes, no, or a number or a date. I want you to have to speak to me and start talking. So there could have been more of that, to be honest with you, but that's what's happening. Obviously, you are always leading that person in a direction. There's no point just chitter-chatting for no reason. In your mind, you have to know, what are you trying to get out of this call, out of this meeting? And what I wanted to get out of that stage one of this meeting was that they had some sort of idea of what the benefits were. They don't have to know everything, just some sort of idea that it was of value to them, and that they wanted to see me again. Those are the things I'm really trying to get out of them. So I think we accomplished that in that conversation. And then when you go back, you can give them a bit more information about the value points for them. Make sure they've registered and everything's fine in their application. And like I said, fishing exercise. This is the exercise where you're there to help them. They're like, great, someone's here to help me. You're here to help them catch the sale. And when that person comes in, let them see how you would identify that customer with that problem and how you would complete a sale end to end. And so last thing on this, if I have a feeling that some people on this end bit have some blanks in their mind, which is a customer comes in, they say, sure, I want to use this Pigeee app now. They download the app. They don't need to do anything, just put their address, download the app, they want to use it. At this point now, let's say go and get this thing. So this I had sent from Bali using the Pigeee app, inexpensive mine, but just for testing purposes. What will happen is that the customer says, "Sure, I want to buy this product." You will just show the merchant, the shop owner. All he has to do is use the app, press the pink button at the bottom, the Pigeee button. That's where everything always starts. The Pigeee button at the bottom. Take a photograph with it. At the top it says connection, a little ad, which means add product. Use that. Take a photograph of it. As you would have seen when you created your shop, put in the list that product. That's it. Put in multiple if they have multiple of it as well. And then click save. That's it. Maybe they've got multiple products, fine. Add them, say, it takes 10 seconds to do. The customer has to connect with that shop. They may have already received a notification just because they're in the shop saying, looks like you're in the shop, do you want to connect? Yes, that's the easiest way. Alternatively, they can just scan their QR code or they can find them on the map. But ideally, they've already had a notification saying they're in that shop and they've clicked, yes, I'm in this shop. They now just add to cart like Amazon, very simple, click pay and just go to checkout and pay. That's it. That's how you want to leave it with the customer. But remember, that customer is not just a customer right now and then. This is about repeat sales. That customer, hopefully they like you too. And you should say, look, take my WhatsApp number in case you have any problems anywhere and just WhatsApp me. Just scan my WhatsApp QR code in case you need me. Connect with them. Because as we found in the past, when these customers go home and they receive this product, and they will be very happy because it hasn't been done this way before, they will want to buy more things typically. And now you can go to other shops in that region that they've recommended and say, hey, we've got this customer, they want to buy from you using the Pigeee app. Let's get you signed up. And there's nothing more that a shop owner likes than you bringing them a customer to buy some of their products. So it is important to exchange details if they're willing to with that customer as well. Also, if they ever do need any literal support, it's good that you're a human being who's there to help them rather than having to go on and click support and do it through the system as well. So they'll feel much more comfortable doing it that way. Any questions for anyone? Yeah, how are you doing?
Just when it comes to also following up beyond means of WhatsApp, I know where to avoid emails, though just when it comes to if we were to ever send one, would we use like Outlook with our PG accounts or just our personal email?
Always use your PIGEE email.
Okay.
You can connect in your PIGEE email to Outlook as a software for it, whatever you want. You've got all the details there. I would recommend though using the web console, the mail in your web console, because it will come with your signature. Have your little picture in there, and have your personal signature. So I'd probably say just use the web console and send it from there. Would be better.
Yeah, but then otherwise, phone calls, if not physical interactions, work better, like far better.
Yeah, definitely. You can speak to like 100 people. You can message 100 people by email, and I reckon you'll be lucky to get 2 of them to come back and be doing sales with you. WhatsApp, and I really used to send out a lot of WhatsApp messages. If he had a really hot lead baseline that he come across, but if you send out WhatsApp messages, you can also that's better than email. WhatsApp messages, not ideal, but better. You just create a little like a couple of lines. Just have a little think to yourself. You can bounce it off me as well if you like to message your pre-written WhatsApp message, and then have a link to www.pigee.app in there, and say, look, but I would encourage you to make it sound personal to that shop as well. So, look, someone's recommended your shop to me that they think will do well on the PG app, selling to tourists or whatever you want to say. Here's the app. Take a look. I'm happy to come by and have a chat with you about it, see how we can help your business increase your sales. Maybe even mention it's free. Depends where you are. In Indonesia, you have to let them know that it's free, is what I found. Otherwise, they're not interested up front. I'm not sure about in your region, might be different culture. And you will get more. You'll get more buy-in from WhatsApp than email. That's for sure. But nowhere near as much as going in person. But it can be a way of setting a lead, setting a time to go in. Ricardo, how you doing?
Hi, Leroy. Just a question quickly regarding the app. There's a little notification on the PG button. Like in my case, oh no, it's not gonna. It's like you see, it's like it shows like a notification 6, but I'm trying to figure out why is it there and how do you clear it? What is it all about?
You're one of those people that notifications annoy the life out of you.
Yeah, it matches with the activity. The number activity says 6, and then that shows you the 6 there.
Yeah, 6 days in a row. 6 days in a row. You can clear it by going to there's a list of notifications. If you click the button to select all and click all as being read, I think that one goes as well. I'll give you the exact information after this, but I think that's how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. It's nothing, it's not a train smash. But
yeah, I'm like that. If I have notifications, I have to get through them as well.
Okay, thanks.
And so we are heading over time, but we did start a little bit late, and we haven't yet done any objection handling. I'm gonna let you guys choose. Do you want me to do some objection handling with you guys? Would you rather me give you some examples of qualifying questions? If you would, sure. So, go on.
I think like just objection handling would be a little bit better, because when it comes to qualifying questions, that's always, set in stone. But when it comes to objection handling, it's just better to prep ourselves so we can be ready for anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Ricardo's question, the issue you had. So just remind us very quickly of what the objection was that you had.
All right. The store owner's objection was that he's not comfortable using the application. So I think he's technically challenged by it.
And
so
what
that's the reason for not.
And so did he have any staff, or did he work by himself?
Yes, he does.
He has staff, okay. So what I would say to that is that I relate. I can't blame you for not being a big fan of new technology. You have a way of doing things, it works for you. Unfortunately, technology is what leaves us all behind and forgets about us. So we have to have some sort of figure in it to make sure that we can keep on progressing and doing business. Otherwise, one day we're just not here to do any business anymore. And even if you don't like using it because knowledge not a thing, just don't use it. That's fine. But you've got staff, and staff are there for a reason. So what I would suggest is we'll set up an account on your phone, so you'll be the main owner. Any money that comes in, it goes to your bank account, so you're in control of that. But once we do that, you can just add staff. Your team, you can just they will receive a message to download the app as well. They'll be connected to your shop. They can do transactions for you, but only you can withdraw money. So now you've now got your finger on the pulse of modern technology without you having to do anything, and you can get the people who you pay in your shop to do that stuff for you, and all you know is that you're still receiving the money. Does that sound a bit better for you?
Yeah, no, that is the best option for him to go, because what I noticed was it's like 3 levels, and on each level there's a person, an assistant working there. All right, so they basically help the customer, assist them, then they go down to the ground floor to pay. So Eugene is basically just processing payments there at the bottom. All right, and I think that is the one part. Only afterwards I was thinking about that and realized, but that is my next step with him. Right, the only thing is he just add the users on from his side and allow them to use the app on the 3 different floors, and he doesn't need to do anything in terms of adding the product, and getting all the information on there. All right, that is the best way to go with Eugene. I'll be back on his doorstep soon.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So I'm going to throw a few people under the bus here. Guys, don't start disappearing like last week whenever we do this objection handling. It is really, really useful to you. It will make all the difference. It has great value in being able to do this. I'm going to throw a few out there. Person being thrown under the bus right now is Grantham. And my objection to you is that but how do I know that these are going to be the cheapest quotes for shipping for my customers?
Hi everyone. First off, depending on what you are sending, so what are you planning to send?
Well, just the products we have in my shop, which are some glass ornaments, some big statues, maybe 1 meter high, that weigh about 2 or 3 kilograms.
Okay, that's perfect. That we specialize in that, big type of awkward type of stuff. So that would be perfect for us. So it would be more affordable for us to do it for you. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. A few more points you could throw in there are that PIGEE is omni shipping, so we get the cheapest prices for each route because we have multiple shipping companies automatically giving the cheapest price compared to just going to the one that you know. And the other thing is that if you want to get a bit more technical, we operate a discounting mechanism, so we are always cheaper than if you go directly to that particular shipping company as well. And the third thing is,
because of the cheaper routes. That's why it's always cheap.
Yeah, it's always cheaper because if you only use one company all the time, they will be good for some routes, but not all routes. And we use multiple ship delivery companies, and therefore they're more likely to capture the cheaper route.
All right.
Okay, cool. Do you want to pick someone?
Let's pick
What was that? Sorry, I missed you. Who? Rowan. Rowan, are you there? Everyone's on mute. So, Rowan, are you there? You're on mute.
You want us to mute?
No, no, just everyone's on mute. That's fine. But I just want to get the attention of Rowan, but maybe it's away. Maybe pick someone else.
All right. Let's see who else is. Let's take Mocho Wawa. Mako. Also the surname. Mako. Makore.
Awesome. Are you there? Last week people were exiting when it came to, now they're just hiding away behind the mute. Okay. Come on, we're going to need some people to be brave here. How about Sayanda? I know you're there. You came in a while ago.
Hi, Leroy. Can I just
Morale.
ask...
Okay.
No, I'm not nominating myself, so please don't get excited. I just want to ask the group a question. For the people that are working in Cape Town, how has the sales been, and how has the approach been to these clients? How has people been receiving you guys?
Anyone there from Cape Town? I think Ricardo is. He just messaged saying he's just popped away for a second. Anyone else from Cape Town who's been going out already to shops?
Or South Africa?
Yep.
I haven't started yet, but by me going up to the shops and talking to them, I haven't sold yet. I'm still by the second interview, if I'm correct, there with Leroy. I'm still set it up with him. But they are curious. They're interested. I mean, there are tourists. It's now winter time. Winter time is very tough, so it is slow for most tourist shops. But it will pick up when it's peak time. So that's the only struggle that I see at the moment. When it's springtime, it will get better.
Yeah. Well, specifically with me, I just work with mainly Johannesburg and Pretoria. Just when it comes to the overall response, I find that it's more about a thing of finding a qualifying shop. Because once you do, you already can find people who have mid to high interest. Though it's just ensuring that you're actually going into a store that meets the requirements of having a unique item. Especially here, there's plenty of unique items, but it's also making sure that you get the right size. So it may be unique, but if it's too small, it doesn't really help. So I think here, like the response for me has been, mid to high interest, though it's also mainly about ensuring that I reach the qualification points before I actually approach a store.
Great, thanks, Pablo. I was just wanting to get a better understanding, but I definitely agree with you. I think that South Africa, Joburg, and Cape Town have a huge market for this product.
Yeah, especially if you mention Cape Town, because I think that's a great place tourist-wise. So I think that's a really good place to actually be working at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Miral, I'm not going to let you get away now. Now you have unintentionally put your hand up to have an objection to handle. So I'm going to throw one at you now because I know you're definitely there. The objection is, I really like the concept of PIGEE. I think it's going to do well with my customers. but how do I know I'm going to receive payment for the products that I sell using the PIGEE app? How can I be sure?
I guess I would say payment's guaranteed, and that it only takes a few hours to a few days to get verified directly into your account. But if you do feel more comfortable, you can hold the option for clients to pay you directly, and then you just use the app for the courier.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah, so they can, if they want to, accept the payment directly. The customer can toggle in the app to say only pay for the shipping, but they also receive a warning to tell them that by doing this, their product is not protected or insured until it's collected, so it is at risk. So what that shop owner is doing there, they're moving their risk onto the customer, and the customers haven't been buying because risk. They don't know if the shop owner is legitimate. So it's worth them knowing the option is there. Just by knowing the option is there, they know that it's not a scam. I'm not interested in keeping their money because the option is there to circumvent that. They just need to know the plus and minus, the benefits and negatives for doing it that way. And for more sales will happen, the more trust that customers have. If in their first time they do it, they want to do it that way, and the customer's okay with doing it that way, they can do it that way. But you'd encourage them in general, they should pay through the app because they can accept more payment types and it protects the customer, therefore more customers will do sales. But yeah, that's a really good answer, Ricardo.
All right, yes, Leroy, that's a very important point, because this morning I went to go follow up on a lead, and that was actually the decision-making factor for him. All right. So at some point when I spoke to him or in our conversation, I doubted, but yeah, I could have forgotten to mention to him the cash option also, because he had to discuss it with his partner, and that was the only concern. So I mentioned to him that the customer has the option to pay cash. All right, on the app you can toggle it on or off, include or exclude payment, and that was the game changer for him, and he did immediately, right, thumbs up. So tomorrow I will go there and go get him on board and get his store registered. So I think what that objection that you also pointed to directly is the fact that when does the merchant get their money, and that is when the courier collects.
Good point.
And then it will be released. The payment gets released into the PIGEE wallet as soon as they scan the item in their system, the courier.
Yeah, exactly that. So it will show it on the device instantly, but they can't withdraw it until the API confirms that the delivery partner has collected it, and that's the way that customers are protected with their shopping. And that means that customers will ultimately spend more, because if you want to spend $50 knowing that you might lose it, you'll spend $50. But if you know that your money is protected, maybe you'll spend $200 or $300 because you know that no matter what happens, your money is protected. Customers will spend more. So yeah, it's a really good point. We go over by 15 minutes, so I'm going to call this session to an end shortly. But optimal time, anyone has any, especially anyone who's new as well here, anyone has any questions, please throw your hands up now. I'm happy to answer them. Okay, all right, cool. No questions today. All right, great. For anyone who needs one-to-one sessions, I see someone's booked one whilst on this call. Anyone needs any one-to-one sessions, just do that. If you're in the WhatsApp group and you're not sure what the link is, I'll resend it to let me know. Also, if you haven't started or completed level 2, I highly encourage you to do level 2, because it really does clarify and make it clear how to do this end-to-end sale. Level 1 was general. Level 2 is more specific. And last question, Tabo.
just when it comes to like just like the pay cycles, because I know like based on your registration and the commitments you get from the registered store sales, that's how you actually earn your commission. Though from like this month, when would the next cycle be?
There's no cycle. It's like your own business. You withdraw whenever you want. We have just been working with the developers on a bit of a clearer visual on how it looks. So it's soon. I'll let you know when, but soon you'll see it in your dashboard. It will have on the analytics. It will just show how many shops you've registered, how many transactions they've done, and there'll be a button called that just says withdraw commission. You click withdraw commission in the same way that you would have done when you did a demo shop, or that merchants have registered their account with Stripe or whatever it is. You would just, if you haven't done it already, you'll just register your Stripe account or your account. You'll connect your bank to it, and you just click withdraw. You put in the amount of your commission so far that you want to withdraw, and it'll be sent to you. Sometimes I think really had to hit his account within minutes one time, but it can come within minutes or it can come within days. It does just depend on your own bank account how quickly it comes to you. But yeah, there's no monthly cycle. You just when you've got commission in your little PIGEE web console account and you want to withdraw, just put the number in and withdraw it straight to the account.
All right, thank you.
No worries. Mutsuwashi Malkori, how you doing? That's your mute, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, hey now. How's it going?
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to ask for those who have already started, because today is my first time attending the meeting. I wanted to ask what are they using to convince the shop owners to join the app? Like, what are they showing them? Are they only using their phones or their pamphlets or something like that?
Yeah, no, just
because for some shop owners it would be hard for them to believe that what we are selling is legit. So I wanted to know what they're using to convince shop owners.
So the power of your personality is the core thing. But when you do your first sale, you will get a merchant pack in the post, which you'll get these stickers for you to stick in the shops, customer leaflets, business cards, lanyard. You'll get these pop-ups as well. But
All right.
some people have asked me, please, can you just send me some stuff in advance? So, and also you get the PIGEE t-shirts as well. Some people have said to me, can you just send me some stuff in advance? This is what I need to make it work. And trust me, it's not what you need to make it work. It's being able to learn to do this job well is what you need to make it work. And you're trying to build, sure, I understand that props make life a little bit easy sometimes, but you're trying to build a trusting relationship really quickly with a stranger. And you're not really doing that with props. You're giving yourself a bit of a hug and you're making yourself feel a bit more comfortable and say, oh, no, this is, they have to believe in that, but you're not really persuading them to go through the journey with you. You're just persuading yourself to go through that journey sometimes. So sometimes that easy thing, that easy prop might feel like that's the one that's going to get you over the line, but it's not. You know, it's I can see when people are registering accounts on here, and I know it's because you're warm, you're friendly, you're likable, you're asking questions, you're not pitching them. You're just asking open questions for them to give you answers to. And then almost as if you don't even work with PIGEE in the first instance, you're just saying, I can't believe you're not using PIGEE yet. This is what you need. And you'll find that is the primary way of doing it. Sometimes what seems like a blessing can be a curse, and having loads of props, what it will mean is if you register 100 shops with props, with merchandise only, and your level of sales is not adequate, you might be losing out on like 20, 30 clients you would have made by doing it the slightly tougher way than doing it the easy way. And the whole point of PIGEE is to help the shops make more money, but also to help you make a lot more money in your own life. And sales is tough, so you just got to do it the hard way a little bit. I know I'm being really old-fashioned and traditionalist about it, but it's always been the way that I've seen it work. Everyone I've always seen in my experience of the people who go on to make big money, do it the hard way sometimes. Learn those tough lessons, get the objections, get the rejections, figure out how to get around them. And that's what's really going to make you make money rather than the merchandise, especially with your first sale. Just the psychology of it. That first sale is gonna change dramatically. Your continuation doing more sales, and you'll have the props from that point onwards. But maybe you never would have done that first sale if you had the props in the first place.
Oh, okay. I understand. So like, since it's my first time, when is it good for me to start? I don't know the next step. I only did the level 1. So I heard you talking about the level 2. I wanted to know, like, how do I go about to the next step?
The good time to start was yesterday. I think it's best if you have a one-to-one with me. Are you in the WhatsApp group?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not.
I haven't got it on here. But just drop me a message on email or whatever it is, and book in. Or any one of your emails, I'll be in there. Book in a session with me. We'll go over it one-to-one, get you up to speed. I have had some people just go out after the first call, which is great, and register shops. This is a journey of learning, so there's continual learning in every phase of it, and this is right at the beginning of your journey. So have a one-to-one with me. We'll go over it in more detail.
Okay, so I should email you after this.
Yeah, if you don't already have, you might have a link in one of your emails anyway to a one-to-one session. Just look in one of your old emails. If you don't have one, just drop me an email and I'll send you the link.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Toby.
Hi, Leroy. So, in addition to what she asked, because I think it's a very valid question. So the truth is, yes, those questions will pop up, but the good thing is, Google is always our friend. So the person can easily just search for pigeepost or PG in itself, and there's enough resource and maybe trust signal to keep them, like, to make them know that this is not a scam or a sham. I think that's also something that you can maybe just chip in there, maybe with your phone, Google search, and numerous other things are there that can back whatever it is that you are saying. I think that should also help.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Toby. Actually, they can just Google Pigeon, and there's probably like 2,000 resources you'll come across.
Yeah.
Just from Google and Pigeon, all sorts of things with the British government, with in the newspapers, and in America with Y Combinator. It's all there. So yeah, that's true. Good point. Anything else before we put our hands in the ring and call it a day for today? No, all good. Awesome, guys. I hope you found today really useful and really invigorating. Looking forward to see more shops come up on your HubSpot, and looking forward to see more shops getting registered and more sales going through. And remember, these sales are not just a one-off sale. This is a client-based role. So when you get that client in, they like you, they love you, they trust you, and you get them doing a few sales, they will then do lots of sales without needing to involve you in the process anymore. And that's a profit center for you. So good luck to everyone, and wishing you well. And I shall speak to you next time. So that goes.